My name is Dr. Richard Lowe. I started a podcast in 2016 that turned into a 35 office DSO, and I was the CEO of it all. And even though I looked super successful on the surface, I was really struggling and dying on the inside. And as I've talked with more successful dentists over the last year, this is actually super common. That I thought if I got to this point of success in dentistry, I'd be happy. And the biggest risk to a successful dentist is not the business risk, clinical risk, or getting sued. It's actually committing to more and going down the wrong path of a second office, a third office, doing things that are out of alignment with who you want to be. You already have options of success. It's come at a cost. It currently is costing you, but what do you do with that? Where do you go? Do you let success drive you in the wrong direction? So I'll give you an example. There's someone I talked with earlier today who bought a large property, very successful, built a beautiful house or renovated a house on the property, and the contractor messed up and allowed mold to go undiscovered and grow rampant. And so at the end of this very expensive renovation, they had this gorgeous house on a large property in a humid state. And for like a year, they just did not feel well. Turns out there was black mold through the entire place. They had to leave, they had to sue the contractor, they had to kind of start over, and it was a complete mess. And it's one of these examples where we think more is going to equate to happiness. And sometimes the more stakes that are involved, I've got a bigger practice, I've got a bigger team that's dependent on me. I'm doing more clinical dentistry. And if I slow down, my overhead and all the lifestyle, the practice, everything around me comes crumbling in. So, how do you solve the problem of I don't want success in dentistry to backfire and make me unhappy and drive me in the wrong direction and cause me to be the person that I shouldn't be? I want to be a better version of myself. How do I keep improving in the right direction once you're already successful in dentistry? And there is this sense of we keep moving the goalposts. I just got to get into dental school. Okay, I just got to graduate. I just got to get in my first practice. I just need to collect $1 million. Well, now I need to add a second doctor. I need to get to 4, then 6 hygienists, clear 2 million. We keep moving the goalposts and we make sacrifices of time, health, sleep all along the way. And there is a cost, but it is fulfilling. It's fun. It's challenging. And then it becomes required. And then you turn around. And for me personally, when I was running a group of many denture and implant offices, I was not doing well. On surface, it looked like I had everything: consulting company, podcast, beautiful family, running a large group of dental practices. But I was not coping well. And there was a moment where I was like, man, I think financially, I've got a lot of options in front of me and I have some problems solved. I realized it didn't move the needle and I'm not happier. In fact, I'm more depressed and I'm coping worse and worse. And the danger is we just keep moving that goalpost. So, how do you stop yourself from moving the goalpost? How do you prevent yourself from deferring happiness, deferring the life you want to live to way down the road? And this is the problem I've been working on and solving. I've solved it for myself. And I have a men's group of dentists called Next Level Fathers, where we're working on fitness and all these other things. But the lessons from this group over the last year of working with nearly 100 dentists on these types of problems, there's ways to handle this. So rather than letting more success turn into more stress and worse coping, you need to do 2 things. Number 1, you need to make sure you're playing the right game. So what is the game I'm playing? What does successful look like? And I think our default is to go to dollar amounts. When I make this much, when I retire, when I'm financially independent, when I have this momentum in my business life, I'm able to step back clinically. We define success as those things. Really, what those things are is leverage. There's a cost to get that leverage. And then what do we do with that leverage? What do I mean by leverage? Money allows you to make choices that you wouldn't have otherwise. You can create leverage by making other choices. So it's like if someone spends double, they need double to retire. If they spend less, then they require less income now and they require less income in retirement. If I hire someone to mow my lawn and we get a house cleaner twice a month, I buy back my time. We need to make sure, what do I actually want? What do I want my life to look like on a day to day, week to week basis? And rather than defining that as a dollar amount or an end point or financial independence, instead, can we define that as a life that I enjoy now? Do I enjoy my life now? Am I excelling and accelerating in my health, in my relationship with my spouse, in parenting and your family environment? If I believe in God, am I growing closer to God? Am I living the faith that I live? Do I have an unhealthy relationship to my phone, with gaming, with drinking, with addictions, vaping, pornography, whatever it is? Am I getting worse or better in how I want to live my life? That's the game. So, how do you do that? You need the right reference points, you need the right peers. And what I've found is, if I surround myself with people who are very, very ambitious, but their values don't align with mine, and how they live their life is actually not how I want to live my life, I'm going to start making decisions like them, but it's not going to lead me to who I want to be. There's a certain point in your career where you want to be humble and you want to learn from all these sources. You want to drink in this information. And there's another point where you need to start actually ignoring the advice of people around you. Your uncle at Thanksgiving who has an opinion on your marketing and your dental office probably actually doesn't know what he's talking about. And so you need to start blocking out certain influences and certain people. Because if you just keep following them blindly, it's this dentist who looks so successful on paper. They're teaching CE courses and they're traveling and speaking at conferences and they have multiple offices, and you're like, oh my goodness, I want to be this person. And then you find out 2 years later, they're divorced, their life is a mess, their health is in the tank. And if that was who you idolized, who you spent your time with, who mentored you, then you might find yourself drifting and acting in that direction. Your life continues to change in that direction. I think the other part is, are the people in my life that I'm allowing to influence me, can I be honest with them? Part of my problem was isolation. I felt like my friends growing up, or maybe my friends at church, friends in other settings, they couldn't relate to the clinical, entrepreneurial, debt, stress, risk, reward problems that I had around managing offices, managing doctors, being a clinical dentist, doing all on four, doing big surgeries. They just couldn't relate. So it's like I couldn't really be honest about that part of my life with those people. I also was struggling and I was embarrassed with how I was struggling because I feel like a barely functioning ADHD adult. And somehow I'm a business owner, I'm a CEO, I'm running my own office, I'm doing my own surgery, I'm leading a team. And then I've got other doctors and other people dependent on me. And I wasn't coping. I was not rising up to who I wanted to be in that situation. Who do I have in my life that is a positive influence in the areas of my life that I really value? And who can I be honest with? And is there overlap? Because ideally, we have friends who can understand our problems, who can understand our bottlenecks, who can give us perspective on who we are. Like, we just can't see our limiting beliefs, our constraints, our struggles. And they continue to be our limiting beliefs. And the more successful you are, the more you are the limitation in your life, the more your headspace, your habits, how you show up, your health, your energy, your leadership, your clarity of vision becomes the bottleneck for how successful and happy you are. So you want to make sure I'm surrounding myself with people who I can be honest with, who are pushing me in the right direction, who are examples to me. And so what can you do about this? Number one, let's take an audit. So I actually have built a chat GPT prompt. There'll be a link below that walks you through, like, let's look at your life. Who are you currently being mentored by? Who are your friends? Who can you be honest with? Who would you go to if your life fell apart? If you were having really dark thoughts, if you just found out from your spouse that they're divorcing you, who would be the first person you call? And is this someone that you're currently talking with? Are you actually sharing these things with someone else in your life? And for me, that's what pulled me out of the darkness, was a group of men who I could be honest with and I could actually be myself with, and that would hold me to a higher standard. And I've assembled a bunch of dentists who are doing that, but this might not be the right group for you. Next Level Fathers, if you're not a someone who kind of has traditional values and believes in God and also wants to work on your fitness, wants to be a better spouse. Like if these aren't priorities, you got to find a circle, whether that's a CE group, whether that's a mastermind. Find the right people that can push you in the right direction. And I'll give you one final example. But first, go in the description, click that link. I'll send you a chat GPT prompt that will break down and help you evaluate, where are my gaps? Where do I need to open up more to my current friends, or find people that I can relate to that can see my bottlenecks and help me go in the next direction? One of the guys in Next Level Fathers posted on Christmas morning, we play a daily game where we work out every day, we hit our nutrition. These guys are getting six pack. They're the strongest they've ever been in their life at age 35, 40, 45. And he posted on Christmas that he woke up at 4:30 and got his workout in, and that he hadn't missed a workout this whole year. And I was pissed. I was honestly pissed. I'm like, this is my group, and this guy is outperforming me. He is more consistent than me. I've had a bunch of ups and downs this year, and I've been honest with my struggles, and I've struggled with consistency. I've still gotten results. It's been way, way, way better than I've ever been in my life. But to have someone in my group just like show me up so hard, I've reprioritized 2026, and I now have an exact plan of how I'm going to be more consistent. Not spend more time in the gym. That's not my goal in 2026. My goal is to be more consistent on a day-to-day basis. And it's because of this other dentist exposing that I respect and trust. He's got 6 offices and 5 kids. He's doing a lot of things, and we push each other. That's the kind of friend that you need. So go in the description below, click that link. I'll get you the chat GPT prompt that's going to help you figure out, where are your gaps? Who can I turn to that's really going to push me in the right direction? So if you want to make sure you're not drifting in the wrong direction as a dentist, stick around, watch the next video. Let's become a next level dentist together.